The in crowd. The keyword in used with a list of species, a set of values. In is always paired with a column name or the rules for which a value in the respective columns has a mass match in the list are selected. It it is a sim- simpler way of writing series of or statement report data on farms with code of FCAR or SLG selected from share where short in FCAR SLG. The foregoing where could have also been written as selected from share where should FC or scored R or scored SLG. The note in crowd. A note in list is used to report instances that do match any of the values. Report all forms other other than those with the code CSRPT. Select from share where should not in CSPT is evaluated to selected from share where scored CS and scored PT. Or ordering columns. The order of reporting columns is inde- identical to their order in the SQL command. For instance, compare the output of the following required selected scores from share where shift 10. Organize rows. People can generally process and or get e.g stored alphabetical report faster than an unread on in SQL. The order by close spectacle, the row order in a report, the difficult or ordering sequence is ascending A before B1 before 2. Descending is expected by adding this case after the column name list all forms where PE is at last 10 and order the report in discarding PE, where PE retros are identical list forms in alphabet order. Numeric various character string. Numeric data in character files e.g a product code do not always show the way you internally internally expect. The difference areas from the way data are stored. Numer- Numeric fields are right, justified, and have leading zeros. Characters fields are left, justified, and have trailing space. For example, the value 1066 stored as star 4 would be stored as 1060 and the value 45 would be stored as 45. If the column containing this data is stored in ascending order, then 1060 preset 45 because the le- leftmost character 1 is less than 4. You can avoid this problem by always storing numeric values as numeric data types e.g integer or demical or preceding numeric values with zeros when the are stored as character data. Alternatively, start numbering at 1000 so that all values are 4 digit. So the best solution is to store numeric data as numbers rather than character derived data. One of the important principles of database design is to avoid redundancy on for from of redundancy is including a column in a table when this data can be derived from other columns. For example, we do not need a column for it because it can be calculated by dividing by price and multiplying by 100 to obtain the address as presented. This means that the query language does the collection when the value is required. You can give the result of the calculation a column name. In this case, a good choice is yielded, not the use of as to indicate the name of the column in which, which the result of the calculation are displayed. In the preceding query, the keyword as is introduced to spec speccy and alias or temporary name. The statement specificates that the result of the calculation is to be reported under the column heading yield. You can remain any column to specify a name for the result of an expression using an analyze. A great function SQL has built-in function to enhance its retrieval power and handle many common aggression queries such as computing the total value of a column. Four of this function A, B, G, S, U, M, M, I, N, and M, A, X work by similar. Count is a little different. Count. Count compares the number of rows in a table. Rows are content even if they contain null values. Content can be used with a while clause to specify a condition. How many frames are there in the proto file? How many frames have a holding greater than 5,000? Average. Average. Average computes the average of the values in a column of numeric data. Null values in the column are not included in the collection. What is average yield for the portfolio? Folio? Some mine and mix, some mine and max differ in the statistics they calculate but are used similarly to average as with average null values. in a column are not included in the collection. Some computers, the sum of columns of values, mine fi- finds the smallest value in a column, max finds the largest. Subqu- Subqueries sometimes we need we need the answer to another query before we can write the query of ultimate interest. For example, to list all shares with a pay ratio greater than U portfolio average, you first must find the average P ratio for the portfolio. You could do the query in two stages, where X is the value returned from the first query. Unfortunately, the two-stage method introduces the possibility of errors. You might forget the value returned by the first query or enter it in incorrectly. It also takes longer to get the rules of the query. We can solve these problems by using prints, prints has to indicate the first query is nested within the second one. As a result, the value returned by the inner or nested subquery, the on in presence is used in the outer query. In the following example, the nested query returns 11.20, which then automatically substitute in other query. Report all frames with a PE ratio greater than the average for the portfolio. Skill builder. Find the name of the firm for which the value of the holding is greatest. Regular expression, pattern matching. Regular expression is a concise and powerful method for searching for a specified pattern in a nominate column. Regular expression processing is supported by programming languages such as Java and PHP. In this chapter, we introduce a few typical regular expression and will continue developing your knowledge of this feature in the next chapter. Search for a string. List all forms counting row by in their name. Search of alternative string. In some situation, you want to find columns that contain more than one string, and this case we use alternation symbol to indicate the alternative being sought. For example, AB finds A or B. List the form con- containing gold or zinc in their name, irrespective of case. Search for a banging string. If you interested in finding a value in a column that starts with a particular character string, then used to indicate this opposition. List the firms whose name begin with SRI. Search for an ending string. If you interest in finding if a value in column ends with particular characters string, then use dollar to indicate this opposition. Distinct elementing duplicates rows. The distance clause is used to eliminate duplicates rows. It can be used with column function or before a column name. When used with a column function, it ignores duplicates values. When used before a column name, distance prevents the selection of duplicate rows. Notice a slightly different use of the keyword as in this case because the alias includes a space. The entry alias is included in strict puts. Delete rows in a table can be deleted using the deleted clause in an SQL statement. Delete its typical use with a where close to respective they rows to be deleted if there is no where clause all rows are deleted. Errors. The data for Burmese elephant, all the shares have been sold. In the preceding statement term is used to indicate the row to be deleted. Update rows can be modified using SQL update clause, which is used with where clause to specify the rows to upgrade, change the share price of FC to 31 into 50. Debriefing. Now that you have learned how to model a single entity, create a table and effective queries, you are on the way to mastering the fundamental skill of database design, implementation, and use. Remember, planning occurs before action. A data model is a plan for a database. The action side of a database is interesting. Rules are running queries. Summary. The International Database Model is an effective means of representing real-world relationships. Data modeling is used to deter- determine what data must be stored and how data are related. An entry is something in the environment. And entry has attributes which describe it, and an identifier which include distinct an instance of an entity. Every entity must have a unique identifier. A relation database consists of tables with rows and columns. The data model is readily translated into a relation database. The SQL statement create is used to define a table. Rows are added to a table using instead in SQL. Queries are written using the select statement project. Using columns and restrict using rows are common tables operations. The where clause is used to specify row selection criteria. Where can be combined with and in and not in, which specify values for a single column. The rows of a report are stored using the order by clause. attractive experience can appear in SQL statements, and SQL has built-in functions for common attractive options.